Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here. I'm really grateful to everyone for helping me reach 300 subscribers. I love how my fan base keeps growing because it inspires and motivates me to keep making videos. Now, I promised that I would reveal my top 10 favourite films if I did reach 300 subs. So here's the video that'll reveal those films. I would just like to remind people though that this is a completely subjective list. So if your favourite film isn't on this list, then don't take it personal. It's my favourite films, not yours, not the definitive ones, just mine. Let's begin. There's a charm to Studio Ghibli films that no other company can imitate. They create a very distinct kind of magic and wonder. But what in particular inspires me the most? Number 10 is Porco Rosso. Like I said in my Q&A video, Porco Rosso is one of those films that I can watch over and over again. This movie is so relaxing that it feels almost meditative and cathartic to watch. It's about a pilot called Porco Rosso, who has been cursed with a pig's head, and his adventures as a bounty hunter. Porco may have old-fashioned values about women, but his heart is in the right place and he comes across as quite the badass. He's charming, cool and confident. The movie is full of awesome dogfights, amusing comic relief and mysterious fantasy. While it might not be as colourful or whimsical as the other Studio Ghibli efforts, it's certainly the one that I like to watch the most. Man on the Moon. Now, I already spoke about this movie in a Jambareeqi review, so I'll be brief. Man on the Moon is a biographical drama about the innovative comedian Andy Kaufman. I am fascinated about the lives of comedians. Comic performers usually have an intriguing existence behind the stage, or some elements of dark tragedy to their lives. Man on the Moon explores the mind of a very cryptic, deep and creative man. It's a wonderful character study full of humour and drama. Yes, it's not exactly incredibly faithful to the real life of Andy Kaufman, but it's still a cinematic achievement. Want to know more about my opinion on this film? Then go and check out my review. South Park. Bigger, longer and uncut. Take note, Simpsons movie and Jetsons movie, this is how you turn a TV show into a feature-length film. Based on the cult satirical cartoon series, this film is a highly cinematic effort and takes a very sharp jab at censorship. It has a consistent series of hilarious moments, memorable and fun songs, a wonderful music score, and an intimidating yet sympathetic villain. Its animation may be crude, but it's this primitive visual aesthetic that gives the movie its own unique charm. The South Park movie is epic, grand, and really feels like shit is going down, despite how cheap it all looks. It's great. If you're a fan of the show, then you're bound to love it. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Talk about a movie that gets everything right. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is a fantasy comedy about a scientist who creates a machine that turns food into weather. It has a believable and adorable romance, a touching father-son plot, highly likable characters, a huge imagination, and thousands of fantastic jokes that are consistently funny. Everything in this movie works for me, and I just adore it. Tokyo Godfathers. Again, like Porco Rosso, Tokyo Godfathers is a very rewatchable movie to me. It's about three homeless people who discover an abandoned baby and go on a quest to find its parents. It's a wonderful blend of touching drama and wacky comedy that all leads to a very rewarding, high-octane payoff. These bums may be mean and harsh to each other, but it's clear that they love each other dearly. They're like one big dysfunctional family, and ripping into each other is their way of dealing with poverty. It's funny, beautifully animated, and worth watching again and again. Due to the high demand, I will be reviewing this film at Christmas. The Pixar Story. I love documentaries. I tend to watch documentaries more than any other medium. The Pixar Story is the documentary that I've watched the most because I enjoy it that much. It focuses on the rags to riches story of Pixar Animation Studios and the people who helped build it together. It's an incredibly inspiring film that proves that small things can evolve into giant potential. It's informative, majestically narrated, and very entertaining. Son of Rambow. I have been making homemade movies, videos, shorts and films since I was a kid, so this film means a lot to me. It really captures the drama, hardships and magic of creating movies with your friends. Set in the 1980s, it follows two boys as they try to direct a sequel to First Blood called Son of Rambow. To me, this film is British cinema at its finest. It's charming, funny and very moving. Every character feels organic and has a reason for their attitudes or intentions, which makes the drama feel more natural and real. When we finally get to see the finished product of Son of Rambow, it's a tear-jerking moment that always gets me right in the heart. It's a movie that encapsulates the imagination of a child and the powerful influence of film. I encourage you to watch this one, especially if you ever made a silly movie with your friends before. When the Wind Blows. Now, I have reviewed this film before, so again, I won't go into too much detail about it. When the Wind Blows is a war drama about an elderly couple trying to survive a nuclear attack. It's a heartbreaking movie that's softened with some charming comic relief. Despite being limited to one set and two characters, the film manages to tell a very moving tale that always tugs at my soul. Check out my review if you want to know my opinion on this one in detail. Groundhog Day. Believe it or not, I only just saw this movie last year and have kicked myself since for not seeing it sooner. It's about a grumpy weatherman being stuck on the same repeated day forever until he changes his ways. Groundhog Day is a philosophical exercise on the question of existence that challenges film narrative tradition while also providing dry wit and thought-provoking ideas about life. I found my first ever viewing of this film to be a powerful and influential experience. What more can I say? It's a classic that deserves its praise. Mary and Max. Those who follow my channel are most likely not going to be surprised by this choice, but hey, I can't change my favourite movie now, can I? Mary and Max is a stop-motion comedy drama about the relationship between a pair of pen pals. Max, an autistic recluse with a love for chocolate hot dogs, and Mary, a little girl living with a loveless family. This movie is outstanding. It expertly blends sensitive drama with hilarious comic relief without coming across as too bitter or depressing. It needs to be seen by more people. It's really funny and adorable, plus its finale made me cry like a baby. Go check out my full review to know more about my thoughts on it, and I encourage you to go see it. It deserves attention. So, those were my top 10 favourite films. It was a really hard list to come up with because a person's top 10 favourite films reflects what they like and who they are, so I found it to be a personal process. I'd love to know your favourite movies, so feel free to put your top 10 list in the comment section below. I've been Jambareeqi. Cheerio, folks.